If you like the idea of dividend stocks but hate the idea of waiting forever to get paid those dividends, then this series is for you. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your very first time here. My name is Troy, and in this series, I spend hours doing research to find the hidden gems of the dividend world so you don't have to. For example, this week there were 208 stocks that had an ex-dividend date between September 15th and September 19th of 2025. 79 of those stocks showed that they can not only pay, but grow their dividend for at least 5 consecutive years, and 25 of those stocks were able to make the risk of investing into individual stocks worth it by also outperforming the S&P 500 over a long period of time. I then took those 25 stocks and picked my 5 favorite stocks to share with you guys today. Now, it's going to be very important that you guys watch this video when it comes out. So if that means subscribing and ringing the bell, then please do so, because every single stock from today's video is going to have an ex-dividend date of this coming week, which simply put is the date you must own that stock before in order to get paid the very next dividends from that company. With that being said, while you're down there on that subscribe and bell button, go ahead and tap on that like button, as that tells YouTube that I'm doing good work over here. But now let's kick off this week's list with number 5, which is Amphenol, stock ticker APH. Including today's video, this is now the 6th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including one selection in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, way back in episode 14 or September 16th of 2022, APH was at a share price of $36.37, and since then has gone straight to the moon, outperforming the S&P 500 and returning over 46% per year since then. APH is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying 66 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.6%. APH has been paying and growing this dividend for the last 14 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate sitting at 21.01%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 21.43%, and a payout ratio of 19.2%. Now, at the time of recording, Amphenol was trading 2.85% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of September 16th with a payout date of October 8th. And looking at this chart over the past 10 years, you can see that APH had a starting share price 10 years ago of just $12.91, which means your ending investment of that $10,000 while only reinvesting dividends since then would have been worth $93,955.07, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $55,020.98. Next up on this week's list, coming in at number 4, is Turning Point Brands, stock ticker TPB. Including today's video, this is now the 2nd time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including one selection in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about this one, which was in episode 144 or March 14th of 2025, TPB was at a share price of $58.19 and has done amazing in just 6 short months, leading to a butt whooping of the S&P 500 and nearly 74% total returns since then. TPB is a quarterly payer in the consumer staple sector, paying 30 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.3%. TPB has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 8 years. It has a 3-year dividend growth rate of 8.04%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 8.83%, and a payout ratio sitting at 8.14%. Now, at the time of recording, Turning Point Brands was trading 1.94% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of September 19th with a payout date of October 10th. And looking at this chart, you're going to notice that this one only has history going back 9.33 years. They did have a starting share price of $10.12 that 9.33 years ago, and that $10,000 investment would have grew into $105,561.55, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $68,951.22 in the same 9.33 years. Next up on this week's list, coming in at number 3 and earning the bronze medal, is Federal Agricultural Mortgage, stock ticker AGM. Including today's video, this is now the 3rd time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including one selection in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about this, in episode 131 or December 13th of 2024, AGM was at a share price of $210.23, which is actually higher than its current share price. So this one has not only underperformed, but has lost money. But I never aim to buy stocks for their short term. So let's see the numbers on this one and why I still love it for the long term. AGM is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $6 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 2.92%. AGM has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 14 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate sitting at 16.59%, a 5-year dividend growth rate sitting at 14.1%, and a payout ratio of 30.64%. Now, at the time of recording, Federal Agricultural Mortgage was trading 5.43% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of September 15th and a payout date of September 30th. And 10 years ago, AGM was sitting at a share price of $23.02. And now, here we are, 10 years later, that $10,000 investment would now be worth $122,371.19, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $83,437.10. Those last three stocks were already crazy, and we still have two stocks better than those. Before we get to those stocks, do me a favor and use that comment section down below the video. You guys can let me know what are your thoughts on the stocks I picked for this week's list, and better yet, do you guys happen to own any of these stocks, and if so, how are they doing for you? But now, let's get to number two. Next up on this week's list, coming in at number two, is Ares Management, stock ticker ARES. Including today's video, I've now spoken about this stock in this series 7 times, including 7 selections in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was in episode 91, or March 8th of 2024, Ares was at a share price of $134.10 and has done well since then, leading to an outperformance of the S&P and an average annual return of 23.81%. Ares Management is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $4.48 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 2.53%. Ares Management has been paying and growing its dividend for the last 6 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 23.82%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 23.28%. And here's the only thing I don't absolutely love about this stock is their payout ratio currently sits at 70.07%, but I did a little research on this and they are expecting earnings to really rise with this company, which would then lower the payout ratio. But again, do your own research. At the time of recording, Ares Management was trading a little over 11.5% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of September 16th with a payout date of September 30th. And checking out their chart over the past 10 years, you can see that starting share price from Ares of $17 even, which means over the past 10 years, that $10,000 investment, while only reinvesting those dividends since, would now be worth $157,821.24, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $118,887.15. And here it is. You made it to the number one stock on this week's list, and I promise you it's worth it. Coming in at number one is Vistra, stock ticker VST. Including today's video, this is now the 6th time I've spoken about this stock in this series, including 4 selections in a row. And if you go back to the very first time I tried to tell you guys about this stock in episode 92 or March 15th of 2024, VST had a share price of just $61.56 and has done just about as well as you can ask for in the past year and a half. It's made the S&P 500 look like a poor investment and has a total return in just a year and a half of 209.21%. VST is a quarterly payer in the utility sector, paying 90 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.48%. VST has been paying and growing its dividend for the past 6 years. It has a 3-year dividend growth rate of 11.2%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 11.34%, and a payout ratio sitting at just 10.23%. Now, at the time of recording, VST was trading 13.3% off of its 52-week high. It has an ex-dividend date of September 19th with a payout date of September 30th. And checking out this chart, notice that this is only under 9 years ago. VST had a starting share price of $15.50, which leads to a total return of 1,546.25%, an average annual return of 36.88%, and an outperformance of the S&P 500 in the same time frame of $129,969.15. With that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, but before you go, there are 3 dates you must know before you leave. This video comes out on September 12th of 2025. The earliest ex-dividend date from the stocks in this week's list is September 15th of 2025, meaning your decision is going to be due by September 12th of 2025, aka the day this video comes out, if any of the stocks caught your eye and you don't want to miss the very next dividend from that company. With that being said, you 100% missed every ex-dividend date from last week's list, but if you're still in the market for 5 super high quality dividend stocks, you can check out that video right here. But until next time, see you.